those of you who's been asking about Tammy, she is still alive. I've had her in one of our incubators with some oxygen, one of our oxygen concentrators on it, and she's doing a lot better. Can you say hello, Tammy?
Hey, everybody.
She's really coughing.
There's one reason and only one reason why James's eyes are brown. He's full of
caca. Hey, somebody says here, Zachary says, yay, Tammy lives.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. She's really doing quite a bit better.
I was beginning to wonder.
Oh dear, ribs are hurting and coughing her head off.
I thought I pulled muscles from my ribs is what I thought.
Happy Friday from Jessica Jenkins to my favorite Frenchie breeders. Well, thank you. I finally got my testing back from Animal Genetics. 2 questions. I did a complete Frenchie panel, but don't see Brindle testing. Well, it's there. So it's under the K gene. So what you want to see is KN or N. Yeah, the K locus.
Yeah.
It'll either be KB Brindle,
or
N
or KBR.
Or KBR, right, Brindle, or it'll say KN or N, which means not. And you say that your dog came back as 8080 COCO little d little d. That is a lilac dog, and since it's 8080 tan points, if it doesn't have Brindle, the lilac points will show up, the tan points will show up beautifully. If you don't see tan points, almost certainly you've got Brindle.
Go ahead, the DNA does.
Well, she did.
Okay, why didn't the Brindle come back?
She's not reading it correctly.
Oh. Okay.
So she's missing the reading. That was the question. Lisa McClellan, Pomeranian female, big S, little SP, and male is little SP, little SP. What does this mean? It means pied. So, one of these dogs is a pied, the other one's a pied carrier. If you mate them together, you'd expect to get half pied puppies. I've got a video here on problems with failed or single or small litters. Dogs Supplies RS says our ovulation shots fix this. All right, well, give us some information on ovulation shots. Clint Shepherd, we've got a son of a big rope who doesn't physically show big rope. I understand that it runs in the bloodlines and not the genes. Well, okay, so when you say that it runs in the bloodlines, it does run in the genes, because that's what bloodlines are. But it means what the problem is not a test for it that I'm aware of that can point to whether or not that dog inherited that gene. So the question you ask is, can he throw big rope puppies? And the answer to that is, I don't think anybody can give you an answer on that. And all you can do is try it and see what happens. So the possibility is he has a single copy, and I think my guess is if you put it with another dog with a single copy, then you'd expect a quarter of the litter to have big ropes. Skrillia Big says Tammy is the best. I love her responses. And somebody else said, hey, Mark, it's looking nice, James, at the end of the video. And Tammy is always. No, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a fact. We're turning this into a fashion show, is what we're fixing to turn into. So we're trying to look dapper for you.
Decent, so I don't scare people off of the video. That's why I'm not on there right now.
Jess Manu says, I'm cracking up because we literally almost divorced a couple of weeks ago while taking puppy photos. We know it.
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted to kill James before it was all over said and done. It was just horrid.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, James, take the picture.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just terrible.
Yes. So, take our advice and try doing doing a video and then screenshotting out the video. You'll find it works so well. Yeah, it's funny. Chopper Styles 510, hello, thanks for the information. What week do you start feeding solid kibble, not mush, and how do you go about it to the pups?
We just answered that the other day.
We did. So you got a litter of 8 that are 6 weeks old. Well, here's a couple of things. You got a litter of 8.
Mama.
That's right, exactly.
Get them off of Mama, feed them the kibble. They're big enough now that they can eat that.
They'll be scrawny if you don't do that.
Yeah.
They'll be scrawny puppies.
They'll be scrawny and you won't get good pictures.
And
you
poor
need to
mum.
put the mush down for them now. And you don't have to smash it up for them and water it down or milk it down. Just give it to them. They'll eat it. They're 6 weeks old. They've got their teeth.
Right.
They're going to gum it around.
But the process we go through is we start with puppy mousse for a few days, then we go to softened kibble. It's had hot water put in it for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we transition to straight kibble. And we're at straight kibble by the time we're at, what, 5 weeks?
Oh, well, no, straight kibble at 7 weeks.
Okay. All right.
Hard, dry kibble.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. Yep.
at 7 weeks.
Okay. So yours are 6 weeks old, so
they're at least eating
Yep.
dry kibble, 2.5 weeks before they go home.
Darren McKenty says, I hope that Tammy feels better.
Thank you. I do. I feel better. Don't look better, but I feel better.
She has a girl that's a visual cream, 80, 10 points. Little CO's little CO. Coca, little D. No cream, no brindle, no pied. And the question is, who would you put her with, please? Well, if you're looking at our dogs, I would put her with, well, it depends. You can't put her with a Merle, so that rules out Mando and that rules out Picasso. But if you wanted to get fluffy carriers, then a good dog to go with would be a Boublier, because you'll get all fluffy carriers. They'll all be lilacs, and they will all carry cream, and half of them will be Merles. That would be a good choice. That's an expensive fee. If that's too much more than you want to spend, then we've got Bazinga, who is a really small lilac and tan carries cream boy, and he would be a great choice. He's quite a bit less money. All right, I'm finished in the car, so I thought I'd just finish this up. Hey, James and Tammy from Dreamhouse Bulls. I have some 5-day-old pups and mum's not producing milk. I woke up to one getting weak this morning. Any recommendations on getting milk flowing? Well, you talk about two different things here. One is getting milk flowing. So the way that you get a mama dog to get milk production is get puppies to nurse on her. So it's not uncommon for, especially new mums, to not have much milk for the first 24, 48 hours. What do? Supplement with a bottle with goat's milk and let puppies nurse on mum, because that helps bring the milk in. If you've got a puppy that's not doing so well, then you definitely want to supplement with a bottle of goat's milk or tube feed goat's milk, whichever you can get done, because puppies have got to gain weight. They'll lose half an ounce the first 24 hours, stabilize on day 2, and gain half an ounce a day. Weigh your puppies every day. If they're not gaining that half an ounce, you need to step in quickly and start adding milk by either tube feeding or bottle feeding. Rodolfo Naranjo. Hello, James. I have a female. I'm not sure if she has a silent heat or an absent heat. Can you go into this a bit deeper? Well, okay. So whether you've got a silent heat or an absent heat, in both cases you don't know, because there's no outward signs. So that's a given. So how can you tell if you've got the difference between a silent heat and an absent heat? And the answer is progesterone levels. If you've got a dog that has an absent heat, it has not had a heat yet, and its progesterone levels will be less than 1. I mean, typically like a 0.2 or something. As opposed to a dog that's had a silent heat, regardless whether it's been bred or not, the numbers will be up high, and they'll be well above 30 or higher. So that's the way that you can find out whether a dog, if you've missed it. If you've missed it, the numbers are high. If you haven't missed it, the numbers are low. So it's as simple as a progesterone test to find out. And then what do? If you've had a silent heat and you've missed it, what do? Well, you're going to have to do progesterone testing every now and then to find out what's going on, to find out when her next heat's coming in. And it gets to be expensive, and I've never done that. But one could certainly do a progesterone test every couple of weeks and find out what her numbers are. And if you've missed it, her numbers would go high, and then they would drop back down about 2 months after her heat had started, and then they'd start back up about, let me get this right here. Yes, so I've got to get this right. Yes, so you've got an 8-week gestation, 2 months. So the numbers would go up, keep rising, stay high for 2 months, drop back down for another 4 months for the next heat. So you could, in fact, do that by progesterone testing. If you get into that situation, I'd recommend you have a machine, because it's going to cost you a heck of a lot less money to do it. And then if the dog's not been in heat at all, house that girl with another dog that's in heat, and that can bring a dog into heat. AJ Lemon, can K be dominant black and not brindle? UC Davis is a bit confusing. I know I'm confused on this too. Anytime that I see that a dog that's K or KBR, they always seem like they've got brindle. There's a thing called recessive black, which is a dog that's on the A gene. It's on the A locus, it's AA. And And I can tell you this, all those dogs that I've seen that come up with either K or KBR and they've got tan points and tan points don't show. So in both those cases, the brindle apparently, or the recessive black is affecting the dominant black is affecting the ability to carry tan points. Ronald Howard says, can a dog carry ATAA? Absolutely, you bet. So remember the A gene, well, let's just put it on the board here. I don't have a light on, so it may be hard to see it, but we'll live with what we've got. So the A locus, on the A locus, you can have AT, which is 10 points. You know what? I can turn this on and get a bit more light here to help things out a bit. There we go. There we go. AT is 10 points. Little a, that's recessive black. AY, that's fawn. Or AW, which is the wild. I don't know what you call it, 'cause it's not, you don't get that in Frenchies, but the wolf gene or the wild gene. And remember, you have to have, this is the A locus, So you have to have 2 copies of all of these, one from mum, one from dad. So what could you get? Well, AT ends up with a tan-pointed dog. And interestingly enough, also ATA or AAT also ends up being a tan-pointed dog. A dog that's AA will be a solid color. So if you had a blue dog that's AA, it'll be absolutely solid color all the way through it with no tan points. An AY dog ends up being a fawn dog. So if you've got an AY little d, that's a blue fawn. And if the dog has AYAT, that ends up being a sable dog. AYAT is a sable dog. It has some markings on above its eyes, and its feet are a little bit tan pointy. Then the AW gene is the wild gene or the wolf gene. And again, I don't know much about that because it's not present in Frenchies. Okay, I'm looking to see if we can, see all that on the screen. Good. I'm doing this kind of impromptu here. Smurthies, Brindle is the best for structure. Why, James? I don't know if you're asking me a question or if you're commenting on the fact that I don't care about Brindle. So, is any color got anything to do with structure? No. So, whether a dog is a brindle dog or not brindle dog, or is a blue dog or a cocoa dog or a lilac dog or a cream dog or a pie dog or a chocolate dog or a long-haired dog, does that have any effect on structure? No, it's not. It's not a structure gene at all. It's just a coat color gene, or with the fluffies, a coat length gene. Why would you maybe see better structures in brindle dogs than maybe, for instance, big rope dogs? The answer is the gene pool. So the gene pool on brindle dogs is huge because they've been around ever since the AKC considered a French bulldog to be a purebred dog. So we're going back 100 years. Huge gene pool, and because of that, people have been selective, and you've got typically nice structured dogs in brindles. If you look at the new fad things, like for instance, velvet that somebody's asked me about, the pink gene, the wolfies, any of those things, the gene pool is very, very small. And because of that, you've got a lot of inbreeding going on. And because of that, some of the structure's not that desirable. And that's it. So just because a dog's brindle doesn't mean it's got a better gene. But because it's got brindle, it means it comes from a larger group of dogs. And consequently, there's been more time to be selective about the breeding. And consequently, you tend to see better structured dogs. There you go. Hope that answers your question. And I think that is about it. Let's just roll to the very beginning, see if anything's come up since then. Well, here's the one from 37 minutes ago. Hey, James and Tammy, greetings from California. What are the first signs your pup might be starting to have the Parvo virus, and what can you do to cure it so the rest of the litter doesn't get infected? Well, yes. So let's talk about Parvo. You don't want Parvo, that's for sure. Parvo is no fun, and I have experienced it twice in 20 years. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you got some good information out of it. I hope you subscribe to our channel. Brought to you by mybreedersupply.com. We've been in business for over 8 years. We manufacture products to help you have successful breedings, successful whelps, and successful puppies. We've introduced a new subscription service, canineconnect.com. It's a 1-year subscription for $129, and for that you get 2-day free shipping on all of your orders. You get 5% off every order that you place, and you get direct access to our support line to help you with products that you buy from us and general questions about breeding your dogs. It's really a great deal. I hope you subscribe to that. Now the disclaimer. I'm not a licensed veterinarian. I'm not a professional health giver, but I am a guy that's been breeding dogs successfully for over 20 years. Any information you get from my videos is purely at your own risk. If you have any doubts about any of this stuff, you should definitely seek the help of a licensed professional. Again, thanks for watching. Have fun with your doggies. Bye, buddy.